Hi guys, so this is a video to basically make up for the fact that we couldn't do the show at Buffalo on the 19th. Obviously at the time the situation was getting worse with coronavirus and people were more reluctant to travel. Also the venue didn't feel at the time they could guarantee actually having enough people in to make it worthwhile for having us put on a show for you. So what I've done is I've reached out to the comedians that were going to perform and some of them have sent me little clips through, so I'm going to basically present a few little video clips of them. It's not going to be the whole routine because I want to give you a reason to come and see them once everything returns to normality and we can get open up again. But it's enough to give you a taste of what they do. If there's any of them that you particularly like, then please let me know and we'll definitely make sure that we get them back in as soon as we can do once we're open for business once again. So the guys you're going to see this evening, there are 3 acts for you. So the first one is a friend of mine called Neil Brayman. He's got a little routine about his Grand's Caravan just to start things off and give you a taste of what he does. So let's see what Neil's got for us.
But I don't normally encounter this kind of thing because I'm from Bournemouth. I'm not actually originally from Bournemouth, but my gran used to have a caravan down there and me and my mates used to go down from London whenever we could. Actually, many of my mates had their first sexual experience in that caravan. Not with my gran. Okay, some of them with my gran. But as she used to say, a fiver's a fiver. I feel lucky to live in Bournemouth. I've been lucky in life generally, you know. My good parents to start with. My mother was the kind of woman who could light up a room. She didn't have a great personality or anything, she was an arsonist. She also lit up 2 schools on the local bus station. And my mother was known as the village bike. Because she had this habit of walking in the road slowly, just far enough from the pavement to fuck up all the traffic. That and the fact that, just like a bike, if you weren't too bothered about history or condition, you could pick her up on Gumtree for 35 quid. Now, my dad was always full of good advice. Neil, he used to say. He never called me son. It was ages before I found out why. The fact that he was a black bloke and only 10 years older than me should have been a clue. Anyway, he lived with us and my mother liked him. And Neil, he says, never pay anybody to do anything you can do yourself. Which is why I'm so good at DIY. And why he was good at DIY. And he never used dentists. He used to say, I've got all the tools, why would I pay a dentist? Well, what he actually used to say was, my time is nearly up, but I'm going to finish by telling you about my mobile phone, okay? Because I'm down with the kids, I've got a mobile phone and I love an app. Does anybody else love an app? Yeah, I downloaded Grindr onto my mobile phone. Now, I had no idea that Grindr was an application to help gay men find partners for casual sex. I thought Grindr was there to help you find the nearest coffee shop. So under preferences, I put black and strong. Ended up being chased around Basingstoke for 2 hours by a Mr. T lookalike. You might laugh, but Mr. T, when you're actually after coffee, bloody annoying. That's it from me. Have a good night.
Yeah, so that was Neil's video, and a great bit of routine there about his Grand's Caravan and the shenanigans that they all got up to. So the next act is another Neil, but Neil is actually his surname. So this lad is somebody called Gareth Neil, and he's got some brilliant material here about just the things that his wife gets wrong in their day-to-day conversations. So let's take it away.
My wife is a mum in her mid-30s now, and I realise she's developing a bit of a mum habit as well just recently. A bit different to what I've started doing. What my wife has started doing, I've noticed, is saying just entirely the wrong words in a sentence, because she's got the baby brain, you see. Our kids aren't babies anymore, they're growing up now, but the baby brain, it would appear, that is set in for life. That's not going away. So she just says entirely the wrong words in a sentence. I'll give you an example. We were watching telly together a couple of weeks ago, and we saw an advert come on for the season that's just finished of the Great British Bake Off. Any Bake Off fans in? Oh, we love a bit of Bake Off in our house. We saw an advert come on for the Great British Bake Off. My wife turned to me, she said, oh, I love British Bake Off, although I don't think it's as good anymore now that Mary J. Blige has stopped presenting it. Mary J. Blige. I said to her, I quite miss Mary Berry myself. I don't recall ever noticing Mary J. Blige presenting the Great British Bake Off. That's the sort of thing she does. We were bidding farewell to some friends. They were moving away to Australia, and she attempted to wish them bon voyage. What she actually said was, oh, all the best and good luck, we'll miss you, Trivago. Same difference, isn't it? Same difference. Close enough. We were at a wedding, she was going off to the bar, asked her to get me a whiskey at the bar, so she went and very confidently asked the barman for a double Paul Daniels and Coke, please. Same difference. Close enough. Same difference. Same difference. That's the sort of thing my wife does, but I'll tell you what, she did my favourite ever one of these wrong words in a sentence just recently. She was trying to tell me something about Vern Troyer, who's the actor who played Mini-Me in Austin Powers, right? Trying to tell me something about Vern Troyer, she couldn't remember his name, so she attempted to describe him, right? So she said to me, you know that Hollywood actor who was in Austin Powers, and he's a midget. I said straight away, I think you'll find midget is not the politically correct term, that's not the right word to use, it's actually offensive, I think that word these days. She was mortified, right? She said to me, oh, sorry, you're right, my bad, oh gosh. Sorry about that, I meant, and I promise you, she wasn't trying to be sarcastic or funny here. This is genuinely what she thought was a more appropriate word to use than midget. She said, oh, sorry, you're right, my bad, yeah. I meant gnome. There we go, guys, you've been lovely. What a lovely evening. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much, cheers.
So that was Gareth, which brings us on nicely to the final act that's in this video for you. It's a young lad called Ben Morgan, and I had the pleasure of seeing him perform live when I was at the South Coast Comedian of the Year contest over in Portsmouth. Obviously that, like everything else, has been postponed indefinitely now, so you know all of those much more talented comedians that actually made it through their round have to wait. So, you know, there's me sat at home twiddling my thumbs, happy as Larry. Those fucking mugs, they did better, they've got through, they've still got to wait to show everyone how great they are and see whether they win. So, in the meantime, let's take a look at Ben, and hopefully some of you guys will go and cheer him on when he's ready to perform at the next stage.
Some of the clubs in Cardiff just blatantly didn't give a shit, right? Like, we were in the SU one night, there was an entire raw chicken on the dance floor. Like, how much of a shit do those bouncers just not give? I don't know about you, but a chicken's probably quite a hard thing to, like, smuggle into a club. So I presume at some point a bouncer has looked at that and gone, yeah, crack on, lads, no problem with that, you go on in. Raw chickens. I used to love living in Cardiff though, right? Like, we used to do this weekly pub quiz when we were in Cardiff, right? Now, I'm shit at quizzes, right? I'm shit at quizzes, but it was like, oh, come on, I'm sure you're not that bad. I said, look, I did a quiz once. I said Paris was in Munich. And he went, what, was that a pub quiz? Am I going to lose this thing tonight? I went, no, that was my fucking GCSE geography, that was. But we had the best thing ever at this quiz once, right? Like, the table next to us was doing really bad, we were doing really shit. It was husband and wife. And the bloke, he was way too into it, way too competitive. And at the half-time break, he started having this massive go at his wife. He's like, you didn't get any of those? You didn't get it? I got every single one of our points. I don't know why you bloody showed up. And everyone was like, fuck, there's more Scottish people in Cardiff than you might initially think, right? But it was so Cardiff, as quick as you like, she was like, well, you know, this quiz, like our marriage, I could always do better if I cheated. Now, that's the laugh we're after. Now, I'm not married myself. Well, obviously, before you get married, you need to be 16. You know the worst thing about that, right? I am 33 in September. Yeah, I mean, that is September 2028, but when that bit stops getting laughs, I'll know it's finally happened. I've hit puberty. So we're not married, right? But we did recently have our first child. Yeah, the stuff about not being 16 is suddenly a little bit dodged, but childcare's expensive, isn't it? Right? Any parents in? Yeah, a few people. Yeah, it's expensive, isn't it? Like, we went out recently. We got a babysitter. It cost me 75 quid. Like, yeah, fuck a babysitter. I can hire a dominatrix for that. Anyway, guys, this has been an absolute joy. Thank you very much. Enjoy your night. Cheers.
So that brings the content from the other acts to a close for this video. It's just time for me to take you through a few things of my own, really. I mean, I tried to do this video yesterday when the lockdown was first announced. I really struggled with it. It's a really hard time for everyone, and at the time, you know, it was looking like I wouldn't be able to see my kids for 3 weeks because they just said you can't visit family members that are not resident with you. And, you know, I thought it's not the end of the world. let's go to the pub. And I realised that they're fucking shut as well. So kind of hit me pretty hard at that point. It's been really weird going out to the shops lately. Particularly when you look at the fact that just so many things have been going out of stock on there. Like a week ago I went into Sainsbury's and pretty much all they had was ice cream and rosé wine, and I thought, you know, it's a shame I'm not a woman who's just broken up with somebody, or I'd be absolutely fucking loving this. You know, it's everything you need right there. Haagen-Dazs, hangover, sorted. A friend of mine went shopping for her granddad. He's obviously, as you'd expect, quite advanced in years, quite vulnerable. She was really worried because he didn't have any basic supplies to look after himself, so she was running through a shopping list to me while she was on the phone, and she said, so you need some toilet paper? I went, well, you're not going to get that. And then she said, well, there's hand sanitizer and soap, and I went, you're not going to get that either. And she moved on to the next item. She went, bran flakes. I went, yeah, of course, you get tons of bran flakes. And she went along to the cereal aisle, and she was absolutely amazed. She was on the phone, she just went, oh, you won't believe it, there are so many packets of bran flakes here. I went, well, obviously there's packets of bran flakes here. It's food that makes you shit. Nobody's going to want food that makes you shit when they haven't got any fucking toilet paper, are they? What's next on the list? Prunes. Funnily enough, shitloads of prunes. No pun intended. Shitloads of prunes. But yeah, well, this is what we've got to deal with now, isn't it? For the foreseeable, you probably can't get what you want. The important thing is to make sure, you know, when you can get what you want, you just don't ransack the place. Have a bit of compassion, a bit of humanity. It's really important as well, as we're all going to be trapped inside for quite a long period of time, that you look after yourselves, and particularly it's important to look after your physical well-being as well as your mental health. So, you know, some people are looking for what can I do to exercise when I'm at home, and this is where online retailers are really going to come to your aid. Particularly Wish have got a great solution. This is mainly directed to you ladies out there that, you know, you might be totally single, you might be in a relationship, but you just don't live with the other half. And this device has got you covered. It's going to take care of your basic exercise needs, as well as making sure that you are satisfied. So I would like to present for you the Pedally Fuck chair. As you can see, it's perfectly designed, so you can get some exercise and give your pussy a good pounding with the attached dildo. I believe the dildos are sold separately. It's not something that I've looked into in great depth. Obviously I'm not going to get a lot out of that. But they've got you covered on more than one front. Gentlemen, you might be worried as well. How am I going to keep myself satisfied? I can't go around and see my little side piece or whatever. So again, they've got your back. One of the best things that I saw on Wish a little while ago is this combination Bluetooth speaker and pocket pussy. So it looks like a Bluetooth speaker from the outside. On the inside, it goes into incredible detail on the listing of the item, the functions that this pocket pussy has, and how great it is for you. It can either vibrate in time to the music. You can set it up to just vibrate independently. And I've got to say, I did seriously consider buying one of these things. Not necessarily for the reason that you might think, but I basically wanted to buy it so that I had a joke ready if anyone came round and they looked at it and said, oh, I haven't seen this make before, what's the sound quality like? Let's go, it's a bit wank. But things get even more surreal from there as you move on. You know, we've already covered the basics of, you know, getting yourself off minimal effort, minimal effort, you got a pedal for the first one, gentlemen, you just got to strap it on and then let it go to town. But we move on from there to the even more bizarre steel anal hooks. Come in a variety of sizes available for you. If you feel that the small anal hook is not quite substantial enough, you can move up to the triple ball version and just make sure that you are really nice and full. Once you've done that though, you might feel a bit odd, you might feel a bit uncomfortable, you might think you've done some damage maybe. So that's where the next item is really going to help you out. So the next item that I want to talk to you guys about here is this one, which is the vaginal or anal speculum. So minimal training required from what I can see here on the listing. It looks like you literally just plug it into your phone, shove it up your arse, and then you can see what your insides look like. Or indeed somebody else's insides, if you can persuade them to let you put it up them. Finally, we move on to the last item, which is something even more niche than the other things that I've spoken about. There's not really any particular way to describe this item to you, so I'm just going to put the picture on the screen here for you now. Yeah, so this is the pigeon rape chamber. So again, if you're finding your choices for procreation or self-relief are limited, the first step will be hard, which is to get hold of a pigeon, but with the way they've been acting lately, less people in the town centres, they're going to follow that trail of breadcrumbs. It makes it much, much easier to catch them. So once you've caught them, pop them in the cage, then you're golden. They're not, they're going to be in an entire world of hurt, but you selfish pigeon fucker, are going to be absolutely sorted. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. You know, I feel that it's always my duty to lower the tone. The rest of the guys, far too clean material for my liking. Someone would get really down and dirty with it. So all I've got to say is thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, let me know if you liked any of the acts that were on. They're all brilliant, but tell me who your favourite was in the comments, and we'll make sure that we get them back in once things are up and running. Please keep checking in to my Facebook page, which is Glenn Braley Comedy, or my YouTube, which you're already on, so you should know that. It's Glenn Thinks He's Funny. That's all there is to say, really. Stay in touch, stay safe, and stay in your fucking houses, guys, yeah? Cheers, good night.
I love that.